In this lesson, you will be able to learn how to get the length of the radius and the coordinates of the center given the equation and vice versa, and how to graph a circle. Now, the equation of the circle whose center is at point H, K, and with radius R is given by the formula x minus h squared plus quantity y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where again h and k are the coordinates of the center and r is the radius. And this equation is in center radius form. Now, how do we write the equation of the circle given its center and radius? Now let's have example number 1 in the equation of the circle. For example, we have to write the equation of the circle whose center is at 0, 0 and the radius is equal to 7. Again, let's use the center radius form of the equation of the circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where again h and k are the coordinates of the center and r is the radius. So let's just plug in the values. We have x minus 0 squared, 0 is the x coordinate of the center, plus y minus 0 squared, again 0 is the y coordinate of the center, is equal to, the radius is 7, so we have 7 squared. Now let's evaluate. We have x squared plus y squared is equal to 7 squared, that is 49. So that is the center radius form of the equation of the circle. We can also write this in general form. This will become x squared plus y squared minus 49 is equal to 0. So that is the equation of the given circle whose center is at 0, 0 and the radius is 7. So how do we graph a circle given its center and radius on a Cartesian plane? Let's still have example 1 where the center is at 0, 0 and the radius is equal to 7. Now let's have a Cartesian plane and graph the equation or the circle with a center of 0, 0 and radius is 7. Our first step is to plot the point of the center, which is at 0, 0. Now what are we going to do to write or graph the circle? Again, let's recall that the radius is a segment from the center to any point on the circle. So from the center, we move 7 units from the center to another point on the circle. 7 units upward, 7 units downward, 7 units to the right, and 7 units to the left. Now let's just connect all the points or all the endpoints. Now we have the graph for x squared plus y squared minus 49 is equal to 0. Now let's have example number 2. Write the equation of the circle whose center is at 2, 1 and radius is 3. Now as you can see, the center is not at the origin, but we still use the center radius form for the equation of the circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Again, just plug in the values. We have x minus 2 squared, 2 is the x coordinate of the center, plus y minus 1 squared, 1 is the y coordinate of the center, is equal to 3 squared, 3 is the radius. So we have the center radius form x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 3 squared is 9. That is the equation of the circle in center radius form. Now, how are you going to transform this into general form? As you can see, we have x minus 2 squared and y minus 1 squared, meaning we're going to use the FOIL method to evaluate the following terms. Let's first evaluate x minus 2 squared. That is just like x minus 2 times x minus 2, where we're multiplying two binomials. So by using the FOIL method, we are going to get x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus, again, use the FOIL method in y minus 1 squared. That will become y squared minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 9. Now let's just combine like terms and arrange the terms. So we have x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 2y. 4 plus 1 is 5. Transpose 9. So we have 5 minus 9. The equation in general form is x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 2y. 5 minus 9 is negative 4 equal to 0. The general form is x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. So that is the equation of the circle whose center is at 2, 1, and the radius is 3. Now let's graph this given circle on example number 2. Again, the center is at 2, 1, and the radius is equal to 3. Now let's have a Cartesian plane to graph our circle. Again, our first step is to plot the point of the center, which is positive 2, positive 1. And then again, our radius is equal to 3. So we have 3 units upward, 3 units downward, 3 units to the right, and 3 units to the left. Again, connect all the endpoints. Now we have our graph for x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. Now let's have example number 3. We have to find the center and radius of a circle whose equation is x minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared is equal to 25. Now, as you can see, it's the other way around. The given is the equation, and we have to find the center and the radius of a circle to graph our circle. And as you can see, the given is in center radius form. So it is easy for us to identify the center and the radius. Again, the center radius form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. And from our given equation, we have our h is equal to 1 and our k is equal to negative 3. So our center is at 1, negative 3. Now, how did that become negative 3 if we have y plus 3? Again, our center radius form is y minus k. And y plus 3 must be equal to y minus negative 3. So our k, or the y coordinate of our center, is negative 3. And our radius, as you can see, is 25. But in our center radius form, that is r squared. So we extract the square root of 25. So our radius is equal to 5. Now we have the center at 1, negative 3, and the radius is 5. Now we can graph our circle. Again, let's start with the point of the center, which is 1, negative 3. And our radius is equal to 5, so we move 5 units upward, 5 units downward, 5 units to the right, and 5 units to the left. And again, connect all the endpoints of our circle. Now we have the graph for x minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared is equal to 25. Next, let's have the last example for this lesson. We have to find the center and radius of a circle whose equation is x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 6y is equal to 0. Now, as you can see, our given equation is in general form. It is easiest for us to find or identify the center and radius when the given equation is in center radius form. So we have to transform this given equation into center radius form. How are we going to do that? We have to perform completing the square. Our first step in completing the square is to move all the constant terms to the right-hand side of the equation. But as you can see from the given equation, we don't have any constant term. So we write it as is. We have x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 6y is equal to 0. Now, our second step in completing the square is to group all the terms with the same letter as their variable. So, we group all the terms with x and we group all the terms with y. Now, we have x squared minus 8x plus quantity y squared plus 6y is equal to 0. Now, all the terms with the same letter as their variable are grouped. Our third step is to divide the coefficient of the first degree terms by 2, square it, then write it as the third term of each group. For the first one, we have x squared minus 8x. Again, divide the coefficient of the first degree term. Our first degree term for our first terms is negative 8x. We divide the coefficient, which is negative 8, by 2, that is negative 4, and then we square it, that will become positive 16. We write it as the third term of the group. We do the same thing for y squared plus 6y. Again, our first degree term is 6y. We divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. Again, we write it as the third term of the group. Our next step is to add the third terms of each group to the right-hand side of the equation and factor each trinomial. Our first step is to add the third terms. That is plus 16 plus 9. Again, add them to the other side of the equation. Now, as you can see, we have two perfect square trinomials. We can now factor them. We can factor x squared minus 8x plus 16, that is x minus 4 squared, plus the factors of y squared plus 6y plus 9 is y plus 3 squared is equal to 16 plus 9 is equal to 25. Now, our equation is in center radius form. We can now easily identify our center and radius. Our center is at point 4, negative 3. Again, that is from x minus 4 squared and y plus 3 squared, the values of h and k. And our radius is again the square root of 25, which is equal to 5. Now, the center and the radius of the circle whose equation is x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 6y is equal to 0, our center is at 4, negative 3, and the radius is 5. Now that we know the center and the radius of the given circle, we can now graph it. Again, our center is at 4, negative 3, and our radius is 5. So we move 5 units upward, 5 units downward, 5 units to the right, and 5 units to the left. Again, let's connect all the endpoints. That is the graph for x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 6y is equal to 0.